Monday, the 23rd of December. Welcome to Business Morning, the start of another business and market week. Of course, Nigerian markets, as any or some of the markets in the world, will go on a public holiday on Wednesday and Thursday for the Christmas. So let's get the week started. There's going to be a lot of trading activities packed into the week as we get everyone ready for the 2019 Christmas holiday. All of this is wrapping up the year 2019. I am boasting of it. It's a very big day. Of course, the big story that came in over the weekend was what's described as the New Year package by the Central Bank of Nigeria. If you're in the news, you know this since yesterday, Sunday afternoon, that the Central Bank has released a 76-page comprehensive review of guidelines to charges by banks, other financial institutions, and non-bank financial institutions, such as agent banks within the financial space. The new guideline, which is a review of the old one, becomes effective 1st of January 2020, and that will be replacing the May 2017 guidelines, including consumer protection regulations issued by the financial regulator to implement its consumer protection framework, which was issued in November 2016. Simply put, what was released yesterday was in two parts. The first part relates to bank charges or charges by banks, non-banks, and other financial institutions on one hand. The central bank also released what you call consumer protection guidelines, including sanctions for banks and anyone who flouts the new set of regulations. So we need to put that out there for our viewers. Everyone seemed to be gotten carried away by the reduction in charges via ATM, POS, and whatever. But what was released yesterday was more comprehensive. Nearly 80 pages document was released. We're trying to break down for you within the show today. The review, according to the central bank, was due to the continued evolution in the Nigerian financial industry over the past few years, which have spurred introduction of new financial products, channels, and other participants in the market space. The regulator says its vigilance on consumer protection has been raised because there are more individuals and financially included people who are in the market, while the new revision is encouraging market forces to drive pricing for financial products within the Nigeria's market space. In summary, what does the 76-page document talked about? We'll try to summarize it for you and give you a sense of what this document was all about, quite comprehensive. And we have two directors from the central bank talking to us via our Abuja studios within the next couple of minutes. In simple terms, what the central bank did was to review some of the charges that have been a subject of controversy so far in 2019. First, the central bank has now graduated the scale of charges for electronic transfers, which replaced the current flat rate of 50 naira per transactions. That's on the first one, and that seemed to have grabbed the news since yesterday. The regulator also said the card maintenance fee, that is the fees that bank charges on your ATM cards on current accounts, if you're a current account holder, that has been scrapped or removed. For those of you who have savings accounts, the card maintenance fee that your bank will charge you from 1st of January will be 50 naira every 3 months. So not every month, but the bank is allowed now to charge you 50 naira every 3 months for your card maintenance fee if you're holding a card or ATM, which is a maintenance for the card. Now, the card maintenance fee, for those of you who have foreign currency denominated accounts, that is, you have an account with the banks in which you store foreign currency of any card kind, the maintenance fee on that has been reduced from $20 per month to $10 under the new regulation. For ATM charges, the transaction has been reduced. Of course, that's also grabbing headlines. From 65 naira, the new fee is now 35 naira. That's shaving that by 30 naira after the third withdrawal. And that's as far as the ATM withdrawal is concerned. Move to the charge for hardware token. For those who are using what you call the token to do transaction, it will now be on cost recovery basis, subject, however, to a maximum of 2,000 3,500 naira. The previous charge was 3,500 naira. The financial regulator also shaved 1,000 naira out of that. Now, for the fees for SMS mandatory alerts, according to the central bank, will now be on cost recovery against the maximum charge of 4 naira per SMS that's charged consumers earlier. Moving down the document, you also find the bills payment. If you're paying your DSTV, your electricity bills via electronic channels, that will now attract 500 naira. The previous base was 0.75% of the transaction value. What the banks are now, what you are now be charged will be subject to a maximum of 1,200 naira, regardless of the value of the transaction that you're doing. So the central bank says a flat rate of 50 naira rather than 0.75% transaction value charge, which was previously done by the operators within the system. The central bank also adds new sections in the new document on banks, accountabilities, responsibilities, and sanctions. In other words, the document contained what the responsibilities and sanctions that will be meted to banks and other financial institutions that breach the new guidelines. If there are excesses, unapproved, or arbitrary charges, you have the right to complain to your bank and to the central bank, and there are sanctions that will be meted out to the area institutions. And finally, the latest guide also includes revisions to bank charges relating to deposits. And that's been missing a little bit since the news broke out yesterday. The new guidelines also relate to how much your bank will be paying you moving forward on your deposits into your current account and your savings account. The interest that should be charged you on your loans, if you're doing bond guarantees, if you're doing letters of credit for imports, and the commission on guarantees, if you're doing agent-initiated transactions, the one by the roadside, inside the kiosks, all of this are contained in the new guidelines.